And let's talk about mental health. Anxiety and depression can thrive in the shadows of financial stress. The constant worry can lead to feelings of hopelessness, making it hard to focus on anything else. It's a vicious cycle. Stress leads to poor decisions, which leads to more stress. 82,862. But it doesn't have to be this way. Awareness is the first step. Understanding that financial health is just as important as physical and mental health can change everything. There are resources out there: financial counseling, budgeting apps, support groups. Reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a step towards reclaiming control over your life. Do we need to talk about this more openly? The stigma around debt and financial struggles keeps so many people silent. Sharing our experiences can foster understanding and support. It's time to break the cycle and prioritize our well-being. Let's take a step back, reassess our relationship with money, and find healthier ways to navigate this complex world. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the numbers. It's about our lives, our happiness, and our future.
Every swipe of a credit card feels like magic, doesn't it? You want something, and just like that, it's yours. But what happens when that magic turns into a nightmare? The thrill of instant gratification quickly fades when the bills start piling up and the interest rates begin to soar. Suddenly, that shiny new gadget or trendy outfit comes with a price tag that feels heavier than expected. I remember the first time I opened my credit card statement and felt my heart drop. It was like a punch to the gut. I thought I was managing my finances, but the reality hit hard. The calls from lenders became a constant reminder of my growing debt. It's not just about money, it's about the anxiety that creeps in, the sleepless nights spent worrying about how to make ends meet. Financial stress doesn't just affect our wallets, it seeps into every aspect of our lives. Relationships strain under the weight of debt. Conversations that should be about love and support turn into arguments about money. It's heartbreaking to see how something as seemingly simple as a credit card can create such chaos.
I never thought I'd be here, relying on credit cards just to get by. It started as a convenient tool, but now it feels like a trap. Every month, I'm just making minimum payments, watching the interest pile up like a mountain. Groceries, bills, everything's on credit. It's a cycle that never ends. I'm stuck in this loop, where every swipe feels like a step deeper into debt. It's exhausting, and I know I'm not alone. Families everywhere are feeling the weight of this burden, wondering how to break free. It's time we talk about it. Debt isn't just a number on a balance sheet. It's a weight that sits heavy on your chest. I remember the nights when I'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing with thoughts of bills and payments. It's like a relentless cycle of worry that never lets up. You know, that feeling when you check your bank account and your heart sinks? It's not just about the money. It's about the constant stress that comes with it. Research shows that people in debt are 3 times more likely to experience anxiety and depression. That's staggering. It's not just about owing money. It's about the emotional toll it takes on us. The stress hormones like cortisol flood our bodies, making it hard to focus on anything else. I found myself snapping at friends or feeling isolated, as if no one could understand what I was going through. Thoughts like, "I'll never catch up," creep in, and suddenly, you're in a dark place. It's a feeling of hopelessness that wraps around you like a thick fog. You start to question your worth, your decisions, and even your future. It's exhausting. You want to break free, but the chains of debt feel so heavy, so unyielding.
And then there's the shame. You think, how did I let it get this far? It's easy to feel like you're alone in this struggle, but the truth is, many people are fighting the same battle. We often don't talk about it, but the emotional scars of debt run deep. It's not just about paying it off, it's about healing from the anxiety and fear that come with it. Finding a way out isn't just about budgeting or cutting expenses. It's about changing your mindset. It's about recognizing that you're not defined by your debt. It's a part of your story, but it doesn't have to be the whole narrative. Seeking support, whether from friends, family, or professionals, can make a world of difference. The journey to financial freedom is tough, but it's also a chance to reclaim your life. It's about learning to breathe again, to find joy in the little things, and to understand that it's okay to ask for help. We're all in this together, navigating the complexities of life and money. And while the road may be long, every step forward is a step toward healing.
I never thought I'd feel this way about money. It's like a dark cloud hanging over me, and no matter how hard I try to shake it off, it just won't budge. Bills are piling up, and every time I open my mailbox, my stomach drops. I can't remember the last time I had a good night's sleep. Instead, I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing with numbers and deadlines. It's not just the big bills, either. Even small purchases make me feel guilty. I'll buy a coffee or a new shirt, and instead of feeling good, I'm hit with this wave of anxiety. Did I really need that? What if I can't pay my rent this month? It's like I'm trapped in this cycle of worry, and the more I stress about it, the more paralyzed I feel. I can't focus at work. My mind drifts to my bank account, and I find myself daydreaming about what it would be like to be free from this burden. I see my colleagues chatting and laughing, and I can't help but feel out of control, like I'm on the outside looking in. Relationships suffer too. I avoid social gatherings because I can't afford to go out, and I hate feeling like a burden when friends invite me.
The anxiety seeps into everything. I snap at loved ones over trivial things, and I know it's not their fault. I just feel so overwhelmed. It's exhausting. I try to budget, to plan, but it feels like I'm fighting a losing battle. The weight of debt is heavy, and it's suffocating. I know I'm not alone in this. Many people feel the same way, trapped in a cycle of anxiety and debt. It's a struggle that affects not just our finances but our mental health, our relationships, and our overall well-being. I wish there was a magic solution, but I know it starts with acknowledging the problem and finding ways to cope. Maybe it's time to talk to someone, to seek help, and to take small steps toward regaining control. Because living like this isn't living at all.
I want to talk about something that's been weighing heavily on my mind: financial stress and its impact on mental health. It's a vicious cycle that many of us find ourselves trapped in. You know, when you're drowning in debt, it can feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the emotional toll it takes. Imagine waking up every day with that gnawing feeling in your stomach, knowing that bills are piling up and there's no clear way out. It's exhausting. You start to feel like a failure, even if your circumstances are beyond your control. Maybe you lost your job due to unforeseen circumstances, or medical bills have piled up after an emergency. Yet, the shame of being in debt can be overwhelming. Society often equates financial success with personal worth, and when you're struggling, it's hard not to internalize that message. This stress doesn't just sit quietly in the background. It seeps into every aspect of your life. You find it hard to concentrate at work, your productivity plummets, and suddenly, you're facing job struggles. You might even start to withdraw from friends and family, feeling like you're a burden. The irony is that the more stressed you become, the harder it is to improve your situation.
Depression can set in, and it's like a fog that makes everything seem impossible. You might think, if I could just get a better job or pay off this debt, I'd feel better. But the reality is, the stress of being in debt can hinder your ability to perform well at work, making it even harder to escape that cycle. And then there's the guilt. You might find yourself making decisions that only exacerbate the problem, like taking on more debt just to get by. It's a slippery slope. You start to feel trapped, and the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to break free. But here's the thing. It's crucial to recognize that you're not alone in this struggle. Many people are facing similar challenges, and it's okay to seek help. Whether it's talking to a financial advisor, a therapist, or even just a friend, reaching out can be the first step toward reclaiming your life. It's about finding a way to manage the stress, to take small steps toward financial stability, and to remember that your worth isn't defined by your bank account. It's a journey, and while it may feel daunting, every small victory counts. You can rise above this, one step at a time.
Stress from debt isn't just a mental burden. It has real, tangible effects on our physical health. Think about it. When we're overwhelmed by financial worries, our bodies react in ways we might not even realize. For instance, headaches become a common companion. It's like our brain is sending us a distress signal, reminding us that we're carrying too much weight on our shoulders. Then there's high blood pressure. When we're stressed about money, our bodies go into fight or flight mode. Our heart races and our blood vessels constrict. Over time, this can lead to chronic hypertension, which is a serious health risk. It's alarming to think that our financial struggles can literally put our hearts at risk. And let's not forget about our immune system. Stress can weaken it, making us more susceptible to illnesses. When we're constantly worried about how to pay the bills, our bodies don't have the resources to fight off infections as effectively. We might find ourselves catching colds more often or feeling run down. It's a vicious cycle. Stress makes us sick, and being sick adds to our stress.
Then there's the increased risk of heart disease. Financial stress can lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms, like overeating or smoking, which further jeopardize our heart health. It's a harsh reality that many of us face, and it's not just about managing our finances, it's about managing our health. So, the next time you feel that weight of debt pressing down on you, remember that it's not just a mental struggle. It's a physical battle too. Taking steps to address financial stress can lead to a healthier, happier life. Whether it's seeking help, budgeting better, or finding ways to reduce expenses, it's crucial to prioritize our well-being. After all, a healthy body supports a healthy mind, and that's the foundation for overcoming any financial challenge.
Money. It's a word that can spark tension in the most loving relationships. Couples argue about it more than anything else. Why? Because money isn't just about numbers. It's tied to our values, our dreams, and sometimes our deepest fears. Think about it. When one partner hides credit card statements or keeps loans a secret, it creates a wall of mistrust. Suddenly, it's not just about the money anymore. It's about honesty and transparency. That lack of communication can lead to sleepless nights and endless worry. And when stress seeps into a relationship, it doesn't just affect the couple. It trickles down to the kids. Children are like sponges, absorbing the tension in the air. They may not understand the specifics, but they can feel the anxiety. They see the worried looks, hear the hushed arguments, and sense the unspoken worries. It's heartbreaking to think that financial stress can create an environment where kids feel insecure and anxious.
Yet, despite the impact, families often suffer in silence. Talking about money feels shameful, like admitting failure. But here's the truth, everyone struggles with finances at some point. It's part of being human. The more we normalize these conversations, the more we can support each other. Imagine if couples could sit down and discuss their financial goals openly, without fear of judgment. What if parents could talk to their kids about money in a way that empowers them rather than frightens them? It's not just about budgeting or saving, it's about building trust and understanding. We need to break the stigma surrounding money discussions. Instead of viewing it as a taboo topic, let's see it as an opportunity for growth. When we talk openly about our financial situations, we can work together to find solutions. It's about teamwork, not blame. So, let's start the conversation. Let's create a culture where it's okay to ask for help, to share our struggles, and to celebrate our victories. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the money, it's about the relationships we build and the legacy we leave for our children.
I want to talk about something that affects so many of us but often goes unspoken: the silence around money struggles. Society has this unspoken rule that if you're facing financial difficulties, it's a personal failure. We're taught to believe that money problems reflect our worth, and that's a heavy burden to carry. Think about it. When was the last time you heard someone openly admit they were struggling with debt? It's rare. Instead, we see glossy ads from credit card companies promising financial freedom. But in reality, many of us are just shackled by chains of debt. It's like we're living in a paradox where the more we try to escape our financial issues, the deeper we sink into them. This silence is suffocating. People feel embarrassed to admit they're struggling, fearing judgment or pity. It's as if admitting you're having a hard time with money is akin to admitting you've failed at life. But the truth is, financial struggles are a common human experience. They don't define us. When we stay silent, we miss out on the chance to seek help. There are resources, support groups, and professionals who can guide us through these tough times. But if we keep our struggles hidden, we remain isolated, thinking we're the only ones facing this battle. Imagine if we could change the narrative. What if we could talk openly about our financial challenges without fear? Sharing our experiences could foster understanding and create a community of support. It could empower others to seek help, too. Let's break this cycle of silence. It's time to acknowledge that struggling with money doesn't make us failures. It makes us human. By speaking up, we can lift the stigma and start conversations that lead to real solutions. So, let's challenge the notion that we have to suffer in silence. Together, we can create a space where it's okay to talk about money, to seek help, and to support one another in our journeys toward financial wellness. Debt isn't just a personal burden, it's a social crisis. Young adults, single parents, and low-income families feel the weight of it most. We're constantly bombarded by social media, showcasing perfect lives that make it hard to ignore our own struggles. It's like a never-ending competition to keep up appearances. But the truth is, this debt is tied to systemic issues, stagnant wages, rising inflation, and the skyrocketing cost of living. It's not just about managing our finances. It's about addressing the bigger picture that affects us all. We need to talk about this because it's time to break the cycle. Coping with financial stress can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to slip into unhealthy habits. I've been there, ignoring bills, thinking that if I don't look at them, they'll somehow disappear. But they don't. Instead, they pile up, and the anxiety just grows. Then there's the temptation of payday loans. It feels like a quick fix, but it's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs stitches. The interest rates can be crippling, and before you know it, you're in a deeper hole. Substance abuse is another unhealthy coping mechanism I've seen too many people turn to. It's a way to escape, to numb the pain, but it only leads to more problems. Isolation is another trap. When I felt stressed about money, I'd pull away from friends and family, thinking I could handle it alone. But that only deepened my feelings of shame and guilt. On the flip side, there are healthy coping mechanisms that can really make a difference. Talking openly about money struggles is a game changer. It's amazing how many people are in the same boat. Sharing my experiences has not only lightened my load, but has also opened doors to support and understanding. Financial planning is another powerful tool. Creating a budget and setting realistic goals gives me a sense of control. It's about taking small, manageable steps rather than feeling overwhelmed by the big picture. Seeking therapy or debt counseling can provide invaluable guidance. A professional can help me navigate my feelings and develop strategies to tackle my financial issues without judgment. And let's not forget about building small wins. Celebrating little victories, like paying off a small debt or sticking to my budget for a month, helps reduce that heavy weight of shame and guilt. It's about progress, not perfection in the end, it's all about finding what works for me. Healthy coping mechanisms empower me to face my challenges head-on, while unhealthy ones only lead to more stress. I choose to embrace the healthy path, and it's making all the difference. Facing the numbers can feel overwhelming, but avoiding them only makes things worse. I remember when I first took a hard look at my finances. It was daunting, but it was also liberating. I realized that knowledge is power. The first step is to gather all your financial statements, credit card bills, loans, and any other debts. Write it all down. It's not just about seeing the total. It's about understanding where you stand. Once you have that picture, create a realistic repayment plan. Break it down into manageable chunks. Maybe it's as simple as focusing on one debt at a time. I found that the snowball method worked for me. Paying off the smallest debts first gave me quick wins and motivated me to keep going. Don't hesitate to talk to your creditors. Many of them offer hardship programs that can ease your burden. I was surprised to find that just having an open conversation could lead to lower payments or even temporary relief. They want to work with you, not against you. Financial literacy is another crucial piece of the puzzle. The more you know, the less fear you have. There are countless resources available: books, podcasts, online courses. I started with the basics: budgeting, interest rates, and the impact of credit scores. It's amazing how understanding these concepts can change your perspective. And let's not forget about mental health. Dealing with financial stress can take a toll on your well-being. Seeking support, whether from friends, family, or a professional, is vital. You're not alone in this. Many people are facing similar struggles, and talking about it can lighten the load. Remember, breaking the cycle takes time and effort, but every small step counts. Embrace the journey, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. You've got this. Debt and credit card stress may seem like just numbers on a page, but behind every number is a story, a family, a sleepless night, a hidden struggle. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think that these figures define who we are. But let me remind you, being in debt does not define your worth. You're not alone in this. Many people are navigating the same stormy waters, and there are steps, both financial and emotional, that can bring you relief. The first step is acknowledging where you are. It's okay to admit that things aren't perfect. This is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Once you've acknowledged your situation, the next step is reaching out. Talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a professional. Sharing your burden can lighten the load. You might be surprised at how many people are willing to listen and help. Financial health and mental health go hand in hand. When we're stressed about money, it can affect every aspect of our lives. That's why it's crucial to take care of both. Set small, achievable goals for your finances. Maybe it's creating a budget, cutting back on unnecessary expenses, or finding ways to increase your income. Each step, no matter how small, is progress. But don't forget about your mental well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy and peace. Whether it's going for a walk, practicing mindfulness, or simply taking a moment to breathe, these practices can help you regain a sense of control. Remember, breaking free from the cycle of debt is possible. It takes time, patience, and support, but you can do it. You have the power to change your story. So take care of both your financial health and your mental health. And most importantly, take care of yourself. You deserve it.